It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Inside give to Elliott. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Meanwhile, Dak's throw there caught by Gallup. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Prescott now. Forced out to his left. He's got it. Touchdown. Jake Ferguson with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Cook up the gut. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Draw play. Cousins to Cook. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw. On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Cousins and the Vikings down 24-14. A little over 80 ticks to go. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here. That's complete. It's Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
64 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Now Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. And he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. So in a game that's been full of twists and turns, here's another with time winding down.
And now, as you say, time's obviously a huge factor. But all you're looking for now is 3. So one big play, maybe a penalty, and you might get that shot after all.
That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he will get to the sideline here, but that a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up second down. Here's Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
So roughing the passer, and this is a unit, Charles. They hold their breath every time they see their quarterback go down and get hit like that.
Yeah, they understand how important these last couple of months are for this team. They can ill afford to have anything happen to him if they want to accomplish their goals.
He's going to go deep for Beasley. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. 4 quarters not enough for all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Cowboys going to get the first chance here to search for a winner as we're back underway to start this overtime. Pollard to return from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Dante Fowler in on the stop. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tie. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Pass complete. It's Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Cousins now. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If you make someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. To throw, Cousins. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a 1st down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. now with 6 seconds left in overtime, they're going to take a timeout. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And he just clocked it, but the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be a fun time in the Twin Cities tonight. The Vikings win it.